This is sixth unit of thermal engineering, in which we were looking for fundamentals of thermodynamics. Okay, in previous lecture we have applied steady flow energy equation to various flow processes. That is, or we can say we have applied application of first law of thermodynamics to steady flow process, in which we have seen steady flow energy equation for open system, that is v2 square minus v1 square upon 2 plus z2 minus z1 into g plus h2 minus h1 is equals to q minus w, or work energy, how the work energy is transported in the systems. We have seen, we have applied this steady flow energy equation to the nozzle. In last lecture we have applied this equation to the nozzle, water turbine, steam turbine, etc. Now let's start today's lecture. Again I am looking for steam turbine. Here you have, okay, let's see. This is steam turbine, okay, in which steam is entering in and going out, producing some work, okay, giving out some work. In this, kinetic energy is 0 and change in potential energy is also 0 and heat transfer is also 0. Now putting all these values, kinetic energy 0, potential 0 and heat transfer 0, then let's find the how much is the work done produced by the turbine shaft. Let's see over here. Here is the here is steady flow energy equation, in which as there is no change in velocity or change in kinetic energy, it will get cancelled. There is no change in potential energy, it will also 0. There is no heat transfer, therefore Q will be 0. And let's write the remaining equation for work transfer. Work is equal to what? H1 minus H2. So this is the formula we get from the steady flow energy equation for the steam turbine. Now next let's see the boiler. What is boiler? In this, the chemical energy of fuel is converted into heat energy after combustion process. This heat energy is used to convert water into steam. Okay, let's see the boiler. Here is the boiler. Okay, water enters, heat is supplied, okay, heat is there, heat and it get converted into steam. This water get converted into steam and which expand over further. Okay, we don't need to think anything about the steam. We just have to consider this much boiler. Okay, now let's apply this energy equation. Now in boiler is just converting the energy, it is not producing any work. So in this, work is considered to be 0. Now kinetic energy, change in kinetic energy and potential energy is not to be considered in boiler. Okay, now just look at this. Therefore this kinetic energy, potential energy get cancelled, then work is 0. Then the equation remains only for Q is equals to H2 minus H1. You can see over here, this is just, thus heat supplied is utilized to increase enthalpy. Okay, in steam turbine this enthalpy was producing work. Okay, in steam turbine enthalpy is producing work, and in boiler this enthalpy is nothing but the heat. Okay, this heat supplied is, this enthalpy is because of the heat supplied. Okay, now next one is condenser. Okay, let us apply this rule or this steady flow energy equation to the condenser. First, imagine what is condenser. Condenser is used for condensing the water or converting the form of steam to the water. The function of condenser is to condense the steam by absorbing heat from steam with the help of coolant in this flow, in this two-stage flow stream, steam, vapor and coolant. Okay, you can see here are two systems. Okay, one is vapor. Vapor is at high temperature, which is condensing and getting lower temperature. Vapor is coming inside. Okay, here is one system, there is steam. Okay, now second one is what? Coolant is entering inside. Okay, coolant, arrow is wrong over here, see over here, the coolant is entering into the condenser, and with lower temperature, and coolant get out of this condenser with higher temperature. This is, there are, so two cycles are over here. Now let's see. Okay, this is not work producing device, so you have to consider work done equal to 0. There is no change in kinetic energy. Okay, there is no change in kinetic energy, and there is no change in even potential, because as this is at same potential, kinetic energy is not also to be considered. There is zero change in kinetic energy. So let's see what happened with this machine or with this system. What happened here? Negligible kinetic energy. Steady flow energy equation is what? Again, keep in mind this energy equation. Okay, properly. This is not too much different. Just h1, all these parameters on these sides are present over here, but just this is potential, this is enthalpy, this is kinetic head, this is potential head. On this side this is q, and this side is work. Okay, now h1 plus v1 upon v1 square upon v2, 2 plus z1 into z into g1 plus minus q is equals to h2 plus v2 square upon 2 plus g z2 plus w. Okay, this one is not here, one is to the z1, g is constant for both this. Okay, now after putting this value, q is equals to h1 minus h2. Now due to heat transfer, there will be decrease in enthalpy of the system. Okay, due to heat transfer, there will be decrease in enthalpy of the system. Now next, this is reciprocating compressor. Okay, what a compressor actually do? It compresses the air. Okay, reciprocating compressor can be treated as steady flow system, provide the control volume is having sufficiently large receiver to reduce the function of flow. Now due to large area in contact with surrounding and low flow rate, there is appreciable heat transfer to the surrounding. Therefore consider change in potential and kinetic energy to be 0. Then steady flow energy equation can be written as follow. Therefore h1, okay, this all this stuff will get cancelled. Sorry, all this stuff, this one, all this will get cancelled. Now the equation remains w is equals to q plus h2 minus h1. Okay, this is the equation. Keep in mind, for every machine you have to remember all this, the resultant equation, resultant steady flow energy equation we have to remember for every machine. Up till we have seen what? First one is nozzle, second one is water turbine. For nozzle it was equals to we have derived it for v2 is equals to root 2 cp t2 minus t1 plus v1 square. Then work developed system is what? Water turbine, in which we have seen this is energy equation. Then for steam turbine we have also studied, and then for boiler, then condenser, and now this for reciprocating compressor. Okay, this is reciprocating compressor, and the steady flow energy equation finally comes as a w is equals to q plus h2 minus h1. Now the next one, for unsteady, these all were steady flow processes. Now unsteady flow but in closed system, the expression summation of work is equals to summation of heat applies only to closed system. Therefore q enters the system and gives out the work. Therefore mu1 plus q is equals to mu2 plus w, where this mu1 is the energy at inlet, mu2 is energy at outlet, q is net heat supplied, and w is the net work output. This is the law for or application of first law to the closed system. Now let's apply this second law of energy thermodynamics to heat engine, okay, and heat pump and refrigerator. We have to apply this second law or this Clausius statement to the heat engine, heat pump and refrigerator. Let's start with according to Clausius statement of second law of thermodynamics, that is, can you remember or that Clausius statement and Kelvin Planck statement? Keep in mind that, and let's start with this. The Clausius statement of second law of thermodynamics, that is impossible to construct a device, that is heat pump, to transfer heat energy from lower temperature to higher temperature without the aid of external work. So refrigeration obeys the Clausius statement. A machine which pumps heat from lower temperature to higher temperature. This machine is known as refrigerator, and the process of removal of heat is known as refrigeration. Now, what is refrigeration effect? It is defined as the amount of cooling produced by a system. In short, it is the amount of heat removed from the application of by the refrigerant. The unit of refrigeration is in kilojoule. Unit of refrigeration is also ton. Okay, generally we purchase the AC. All these cooling systems are measured with this unit, ton. Okay, the standard unit of refrigeration is 1 ton. Now, what is 1 ton? Definition of 1 ton you have given over here. 1 ton of refrigeration is defined as the quantity of heat required. Okay, it is a heat required which is measured in joule. The quantity of heat required to remove from 1 ton of ice within 24 hours when initial condition of water is 0 degree centigrade, because the same cooling effect will be given by melting the same ice. Okay, why this is called as 1 ton of refrigeration? Because 1 ton of ice in 24 hours will give same cooling effect or refrigerating effect. That's why what is 1 ton of refrigeration? It is the quantity of heat required to remove 1 ton of ice or prepare 1 ton of ice within 24 hours when the initial condition of water is 0 degree Celsius. Or you can, I am telling you simply that the energy required to convert the water at 0 degree Celsius to 0 degree Celsius ice within 24 hours, that is, or that heat is called as 1 ton of energy. Then taking a latent heat of fusion of ice is what? It is equals to 335 kilojoule per kg. Now further we have to convert this 1 ton of refrigeration in terms of kilojoule or kilowatts, and then we will get this much stuff. 1 ton of refrigeration is equals to 1000 into latent heat of ice, that is 335 upon 24 hours. So we will get on solving 232.6. This might be question asked in examination. Okay, so 1 ton of refrigeration in terms of kilojoule per minute is equals to 232.6 kilojoule per minute. In actual practice, 1 ton of refrigeration is taken as equivalent to 210 kilojoule per minute or 3.517 kilowatt of energy, or you can say 1 ton of refrigeration equals to 3.517 kilowatt or 210 kilojoule per minute. Then coefficient of performance for this such heat engines, coefficient of performance is considered, and for heat pumps coefficient of performance is considered to calculate its how the machine is working, and the efficiency is calculated for the engines for calculating or to understand its performance. So let's see what is coefficient of performance. It is defined as the ratio of refrigerating effect to work input required to achieve that refrigerating effect. Okay, so output upon input is the coefficient of performance. Okay, output upon, okay, refrigeration effect is output. Okay, refrigerating effect is output and heat supplied is the input. Therefore output upon input is coefficient of performance. If we express the refrigerating capacity in tons, that is in terms of refrigerator and power in kilowatt, we get coefficient of performance is equals to 3.5 upon P upon TR, that is tons of refrigeration. Now next one, heat engine. Okay, this we have to apply this second law of thermodynamics to heat engine. What is heat engine? Planck statement tells you that which convert the heat into work. Okay, now it is the device which used chemical energy of fuel converted into thermal energy to perform some useful work, or it is a device used to convert heat energy into useful work when operating in a cycle, like our motorcycle engine. This heat engine is there. Now you can see that the schematic diagram of this heat engine. This is heat engine. Heat source is there, producing some work and giving some heat output. Okay, according to Planck statement, what is Planck statement? Total, there is no heat engine which convert total heat supplied into total work. There is no heat rejection. Okay, but so this machine is following Planck statement because it is giving out some heat energy, rejecting heat. Okay, now this is the diagram of heat engine. Now QA is the heat supplied, and QR is the heat of rejection. And what is the net work? It is QA minus QR, that is heat supplied minus heat rejected. This is the heat engine. Okay, now work done by the system, W is equals to work output upon work input. This is the thermal efficiency, that is W net upon QA. So QA minus QR upon QA, that is T1 minus T2 upon T1, is equals to 1 minus T2 upon T1. Thus thermal efficiency of heat engine operating between two thermal reservoir is always less than unity. Okay, so keep in mind the efficiency of any system is always remain less than 1, because some quantity is subtracting from this 1. Okay, therefore for every engine, for every system or any engine, the efficiency is always less than 1. Okay, then let's see heat pump. Okay, what is heat pump? Which is device which working in a cycle delivers heat from low temperature to higher temperature on the account of consumption of some work. The efficiency of heat pump is replaced by a term coefficient of. Here heat source T2 giving out energy. Sorry, we have to absorb the heat from this on the account of supplied energy. Okay, sink temperature is lower, we are giving some heat input, and which pumping this energy to higher level temperature, that is heat sink, which is at T1. You can see over here sink temperature is greater than source temperature. This is source and this one is sink. Okay, clearly see that. Then heat pump. Okay, let's see what heat pump. Its derivation is given for coefficient of performance. For engines, efficiency is the measure of performance, and here coefficient of performance, that is COP, is performance of heat pump. If the purpose of heat pump is to take out the heat from low temperature T2 and supply it to room at temperature T1 for heating, then COP of pump is equals to amount of heat rejected, that is QR upon network. Network is what? QR minus QA, which is equals to T1 upon T1 minus T2. If the purpose of this pump is to extract the heat from the source which is at low temperature T2 to maintain it at this low temperature compared with sink temperature T1 and rejected to the sink temperature T2, then COP of refrigerator is equals to amount of heat absorbed upon net work done, which is equals to T2 upon T1 minus T2. This is the form of heat pump, is known as refrigerator. Okay, you can see heat pump. What heat pump actually do? Lower temperature to higher temperature heat rejection. And here in refrigerator, temperature which is low temperature, it receives the heat from lower temperature and rejected to the higher temperature. Then refrigerator, let's see over here, refrigerator is given. If purpose of heat pump is to extract the heat from the source which is at lower temperature T1 to maintain it at low temperature compared with sink temperature and rejected to the sink at higher temperature, then COP of refrigerator is amount of heat absorbed upon net work done, that is T1 upon T2 minus T1. This is the form of heat pump, is known as refrigerator. Now here is important equation, coefficient of refrigerator, coefficient of performance of refrigerator plus 1 is equals to coefficient of performance of pump operating in same cycle. Okay, here you have given a refrigerator, then here we ends the second law of thermodynamics. Now we have to see in next lecture that some problems based on this first law and second law of thermodynamics, we have to solve it. So be prepared for all these problems, or prepare all these formulas to solve some problems. Okay, today, thank you.